Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share, leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, I think overall, this was one of the best episodes of Monday Night Raw that we've had in quite some time, at least the last couple of months, because I think it's fair to say Monday Night Raw has gotten into a rut. I mean, once it was announced, first of all, there was nothing announced for this episode of Raw for the longest time. And then they said, Cody Rhodes will kick off. I was like, oh my God. We're really going to set up Cody Rhodes and LA Knight versus The Vision, because that's just what we've been accustomed to when it comes to these Monday Night Raws, especially when it comes to the main event. It's been the same thing over and over and over again. And then the show starts off and you see, okay, we're going to do Jey Uso versus LA Knight. Cool. We've been building that. We need to get to that match. I would have saved it for Crown Jewel, but hey, it is what it is. And then Cody comes out, and then here comes Seth. And now the whole Crown Jewel Championship thing, I don't mind it. I don't love it necessarily. I think if you're going to do brand warfare, you're going to have the champions face off. I would just like it to be something where it's more of a little bit of a build, in my opinion. Now, I don't mind these. I really don't mind the one-offs. Like when we did SmackDown versus Raw, the first couple years, I really liked it. I think it got ran down into the ground. And what is the benefit of this one is that it is Seth versus Cody. So it's more than just about the championships, and it's more just about being the alpha of WWE, which is what they are going to lean into when it comes into this. I really like the line of Seth being like, I am the alpha here. You could be the quarterback, but you're going to be my quarterback. And then Cody bringing up the record, which kind of indicates to me that Seth Rollins is going to win. And I do think he deserves to win, because I always see it as a principle of the rankings of the divisions. Like last year, the Women's World Championship was more valuable than the WWE Women's Championship. No shade to Nia Jax at the time, but that's just how I personally saw it, which is why I was like, yeah, Liv Morgan deserves to win. And at the time, I think the WWE Championship was more valuable than the World Heavyweight title. Again, no shade to Gunther, but that's just how I saw it. So therefore, I thought the right winners won. Here, I do think both World Championships should win. Now, it'll just depend on who wins on Friday, because if Tiffany wins, and I think Stephanie Vaquero wins at Crown Jewel, really liked her promo too, by the way. But yeah, when it came to Cody and Seth, I was like, yeah, Seth is owed a win. I don't know if he wins clean, because, you know, WWE can't seem to let their major stars just lose. Jey Uso versus LA Knight for that example alone. But we will see. I think Jey Uso probably cost Cody Rhodes, because I could see Seth going, I promise, no one from the Vision will interfere during the match. But when Cody was having this talk with Jey Uso, and Jey was like really looking at the title, I mean, he was really looking at the title. And, you know, he's doing this whole by any means necessary stuff. I can see that happening and maybe solidifying the heel turn. Now, we'll see what happens with Jey Uso, which I'm really liking everything that we're doing with him. This whole shades of gray, because he has really, you know, been really tittling that line of a heel turn. And it comes to LA Knight, and I really liked the match that they had. I didn't really love the finish that we had with that match, because I just didn't think the Bronze needed to come out. Like, your whole purpose is for them for them to get hurt, and they're literally hurting themselves. And if anything, what you do is after the match, you come out and then attack them. Why are you attacking during the match? Well, it's simple. You don't want LA Knight to just lose, because you want LA Knight to look strong. But, you know, when two people are having a competitive, especially with Jey Uso being a former world champion, I think LA Knight can handle the loss. That's just how I personally saw it. But yeah, love everything that we're doing within the main event scene. I even liked what we did with Becky and Seth too, because now you can kind of make the indication, because Seth Rollins turned heel at WrestleMania. When did Becky Lynch return? At WrestleMania. Yeah, sure, they were at two different nights. But Becky was basically a heel when she came back, because as soon as she lost her tag titles, literally the night after WrestleMania, she turned on Lyra Valkyria. And the way that Becky was talking to Seth, which I found really funny, because as soon as she left, Seth looked up like, what was she going on about? I did not hear a single word that she just said. You can make the indication that Seth only got manipulated into all of this because of Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch has been gone for the longest time. Now that she's back, he's back with his wife. Two minds think alike. Behind every strong man is an even stronger woman. Therefore, so on and so forth. There's just a lot of layers that we can add here. I also like that. Now, we'll see. We have 3 weeks until then, and, we have Crown Jewel itself. But, you remember last year with Crown Jewel where we showed that big-ass title multiple times throughout. Like, oh, yep, here's the Crown Jewel Championship. Here's the Crown Jewel Championship. And we are still calling it the Crown Jewel Championship. But I like the emphasis that we're having on the ring as opposed to that title. And I hope that we stick to that it is just about the ring, collecting the rings, as opposed to just holding that gigantic belt for 5 seconds and then never holding it again. We never saw the title here, and I would have thought if we would have been going back to the belt, we would have been showcasing it, having the guys with the gloves and all of them, making it feel very special. But yeah, really liked the promo that we had here. I liked everything that we did with Jey Uso within the main event scene. Also really liked everything that we did with Dom in the Judgment Day 2. I do think we need to wrap this up sooner rather than later, because the Judgment Day became very interesting again. Then the Judgment Day won those tag titles. Then they haven't done anything with them. I really wish the Vision would have just made their destination known that they were going to go after those. Because also with Crown Jewel being in Australia, I would have thought, hey, this could get Bronson Reed a big win. He wins a title at that event. But, it doesn't look like we're going to do that. Sure, we have 2 more weeks until we get there. But yeah, everything that we did with Dom, and then Finn Balor going like, well, why don't you ask El Grande Americano for help? Oh, well, he's in Mexico, so I need your help. Nope, you said you got it. You're the greatest luchador of all time. JD, help me. No, I'm busy. And then Roxanne and Raquel going, yeah, you should help. Okay, fine, I'll help. I'll go talk to Pierce. Actually, I already talked to Pierce. You already got the match. I was just making sure you were okay with it first. And then during the whole Rusev versus JD match, which to me went a little long for my liking. Not necessarily because I wasn't into the match. I think they were doing very, very good. And I really like the whole indicator that, JD only got offense when Dominic was somewhat interfering, or Rusev was more focused on Dominic as opposed to he was focused on JD. But I really did like the finish as well of like Dominic, oh, I'm going to go help my friend. Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm really scared of Rusev. But yeah, I just think the match overall went a little too long just to really make Rusev more of a dominant threat. I still feel that way. Don't get me wrong. I think he is going to lose that belt next week with Finn Balor accidentally costing Dominic the match. And then I think Dominic would accidentally cost Finn Balor the tag team titles. And then there we go. The Judgment Day fully implode. But yeah, overall, like that match as well. Again, would have cut off like maybe 2 minutes. Like, no, it wasn't too overly long. But because as soon as I said, this match feels like it's going a little long, we were just about pretty close to wrapping it up. But yeah, I liked everything that we did there. Everything we did with the women as well, I was really into. The Bayley stuff is a little wishy-washy for me, not necessarily because of Bayley. I really like the schizophrenic style that we are dealing with. I hope that the character change comes more apparent within the matches as we move forward, because I know at the end they're all like, oh, Bayley went into this overdrive because like she hit like 3 moves at the end. I want to see that progression like in the middle of the match as opposed to just at the very end. And I also just didn't fully buy it just because she hit 3 finishers. Like the whole point is to win the match. And as we know in today's WWE standards, 1 finisher ain't gonna do it. So yeah, hit all your moves that you can. Also, Bayley probably the smartest character in all of WWE, because Raquel's gonna be out there, so I need help too. Because no other babyface wants to do that. They want to talk about honor, like, oh, I can do this on my own. Shut up, Bayley. You're the go for that. But what makes me wishy-washy on it a little bit is just everything that we're doing with Lyra. Lyra should be more standoffish, especially after last week getting told off. I don't care that, she was your friend and that and she's having this existential crisis and you're just trying to understand. You told her to F off and that you want to stay separate, which they did bring up here. But I just really think that she should have been a little bit more standoffish and that Bayley should have been doing the climb a little bit more until Lyra accepted, and then we could start having the role model coming out a little bit more within those conversations. Or maybe we do it, yeah, she's the hugger with Lyra because she wants her acceptance, but when Lyra's away, then you get the role model. I don't know. I just think everything that we're doing with Lyra kind of makes Lyra look like a goof in a lot of ways because, again, like, I didn't really feel sorry for her when Bayley snapped again because, like, how did you not expect that to happen, Lyra? So that's my only problem when it comes to the Lyra and Bayley story right now. Still very engaged, still very interested in it. But yeah, I just think that we need to look at a couple more drafts next week just so that we can fully understand where Lyra is coming from as opposed to her supporting Bayley, because at first completely cut off, and then a couple edited videos later, and now she's like, oh my god, I'm really concerned about Bayley, and now she actually wants to be there for her, even though she even states in this episode of SmackDown, we're supposed to keep our distance, and now all of a sudden, you know, she's doing really good with her facials. I just think, like, well, you kind of deserve it when it came to this episode of Monday Night Raw. So yeah, just give a couple more edits and we'll see where we're going from there. Now the Rhea, Io, Asuka, and Kairi stuff, no notes. Absolutely perfect. We finally pulled the trigger to properly turn Asuka heel. We did Rhea versus Asuka in the main event. Thank God we got something new. Felt very fresh. Very good match. Love the ending as well. We haven't done a surprise roll-up finish in quite some time, and we didn't do it at all during this episode of Raw either. So it felt very necessary, for a lack of a better word. It just felt very fitting because I think I could have this wrong, but I think they were like, Rhea has never beaten Asuka, so we had that element in there as well. So the only way that she could beat Asuka was a surprise roll-up. Her also kept her a little protected too because she hit Kairi. I loved how when Asuka's like, hit her, and Kyrie's like, oh no, I don't wanna. Like, that kind of over the top stuff was absolutely great. And again, everything that Asuka says too, like, she's just fully thrown herself into this character, being the super over the top personality. It's just really hitting all strides for me. Rhea Ripley did great. It was great seeing her back in the ring for the first time in a long time. I love the angle as well when she turned Rhea Ripley into a Nani from Avatar, because god dang, that was a lot of miss. She was blue. Dabu dee dabu die. Am I right? I hate myself. I can't believe I did that joke. But yeah, she turned completely blue. Here comes Io. Please don't hurt her. Also, Io being like, Asuka, please call off the match. I don't want to see my two friends fight. Nope, we're having this match. Rhea, please call off the match. I really don't want to see my friends fight. Nope. Asuka's been a dick. Maybe we can beat the respect down into each other, which I liked. I really liked that line quite a bit. And then you need to watch yourself with Asuka because she's being a dick. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Asuka. Asuka paved the way a lot, which makes it a lot of understanding for why Kairi just does what Asuka says, because she is into that. It's almost like Roman Reigns, right, with the bloodline when it's at its peak. Hey, if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't be here. So even though I don't agree with necessarily what they're saying, I'm going to listen to them, which is why, she's regretfully punching them and beating them up, doing the, I forgot the over-the-top elbow. I forgot what she calls her finisher. Doing a couple of those looked absolutely brutal, which you would assume sets up at Crown Jewel the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io Sky. And who doesn't want to see that? It's at 7 a.m. my time. That's a match willing to wake up at 7 a.m. for. Along with, of course, AJ Styles versus John Cena, which literally got greenlit right I was about to hit record. But yeah, again, overall, this episode of Monday Night Raw was, to me, top to bottom, absolutely great. A lot of things moving forward. It seems like there is a focus there. I don't know if maybe Triple H saw that review from ESPN, their own partner, and he was like, oh, that's what y'all think? Well, let me cook this up here real quick, because there is a lot of things to look forward to heading into it. Again, don't fully love the Crown Jewel concept. I understand it. I can respect it. And I can get excited for it. I'm looking forward to both the men's and the women's match, in all honesty, as just for the match. But, as for the story, it really doesn't do a whole lot for me. But sometimes that can get you by, and so far it is. But I did like the story for Cody and Seth. It's just the overall concept of the Crown Jewel Championship that I don't fully love. But let me know what y'all think about this episode of Raw down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to go into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze a day, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.